Welcome to another episode of the Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, I continue my trek into the world of the challenge for the first time with the Challenge USA Season 2, Episode 4. This has been a wild ride so far, and this episode was insane. Thursday left us with the burning question of what would Bananas do after beating Pauly? Would he switch teams? Would he join a new team? Whatever would go down, what would happen? So Bananas kicks off Corey from the blue team and puts himself on the red team. And with Bananas jumping on the blue team, obviously Dusty left a little love letter for Bananas just in case he would have lost. And then Bananas reads it and says, I don't know what to make of this, but are we in love? Very, very, very funny ass moment. Banana said it's time for Josh to take the mantle to be the loudmouth and calls Josh, goes on a rampage here. Rampage, talking about the Big Brother crew. They hide and they shuffle around like rats around the house. They close doors and he screams and yells. He calls out Lewis and Desi, says he's coming for both of them. Bananas is having a blast in the background because everything is kind of taken off his back a little bit in the middle of all this. Desi's having a breakdown because she's having some doubts. She said the team believes her and she wishes she can believe in herself the same way that they believe in them. The next challenge is up, and I'll tell you what, this is short-lived, 3 episodes. I understand, but this competition right here was a whole lot of fun. Basically, more so how to end it than it started. But 2 players will start at the top of the truck. They have to swing from one truck to the other truck, sticking some sticky things on from one side to there into their circle, like a Connect 4 looking thing. And they have 8 to get across. While this is going on, 2 trucks will be going full speed down ahead. Of course, they have 2 people opposing them trying to swing to the other side to put it on there as well. So this was definitely an interesting competition. TJ says, winning has never been more important than today as they are having a double elimination tonight. First up, we have Amanda and Wes versus Michelle and Josh. Amanda says she's ready to take down Michelle. This competition's insane. Watching them happen from swinging from one truck to the other truck, kind of like Spider-Man-esque. It was funny. Like I said at the beginning of this, you had 8 sticking thingies, whatever circles to throw on the other side of the truck, and Amanda ended up getting 1. 1 of the 8, while Wes got all 8 of his. They won the round. Michelle and Josh won the round 11-9. Next up was Alyssa and Chris versus Chanel and Corey. Chris was going to play defense against Corey, and Corey came in and just dunked on his ass. I mean, severely dunked on his ass. Chanel and Corey won that round 13-10. Michaela and Lewis beat Cassidy and Sebastian 15-11. Tiffany and Dusty beat Desi and Tyler 14-10. Chanel and Corey beat Alyssa L and Fessy 14-12. This was by far the best idea that we've seen so far. So the blue team has 0% chance of winning this competition. However, they know that if green wins this competition, that there's a potential that they're going to be targeted from the green team. So instead of, sorry, I'm fixing my mic. It's weird static. So instead of playing the game the way that they should, Bananas and Tori come up with the idea via Chris of playing defense. At the beginning of the sound, you hear the and Bananas goes whoopsie and drops all of these disc-like things on the ground. And things start to get wild as Monty and Michaela realize what is going down right here. So the entire time they had to stop them from getting the amount of I think it was 8 that they needed to get. And the entire time, all they did was Bananas was right there blocking Monty the entire time. I think he ended up getting 1. Michaela got a little aggressive, even pulling Amanda's hair. The blue team does what they needed to do to stop the green team from winning. And this was the best thing I've ever seen. Like, they were, like, Monty was pissed. Team Green was pissed. Of course, Bananas is bragging. One man, one woman will be battling it out with the double elimination. Michelle, Tiffany, Chanel are on the same page, and they want to throw up Wes and Amanda and get them out the door. They want to protect Desi and Michaela. If you go into a stalemate, something I didn't know, Josh said that he's ready and willing to go into that stalemate, which causes you to be in the circle there. The red team is chatting and agreeing that they need to vote the blue. They need to keep the blue team on, with them off the table as they help them win. In the conversation of back and forth of trying to figure out who they were going to put up for the block, things get wild, crazy, loud, with Josh just screaming, yelling, getting this big target on his back moving forward. Chanel said she's not afraid of a stalemate, but ultimately we see Desi and Lewis on the chopping block. Chanel got a little upset because Tiffany and Michelle kind of bailed after a little bit of pressure because they had a plan going in there and they just kind of ran away. Lewis isn't happy as he thought Dusty would have his back. Chanel's confronting Michelle and she isn't having it at all. Desi is upset because she thought she would be protected, but she needs to control the next step. Deal is targeting Amanda as she thinks that she would be easy competition heading into the arena. TJ announces the men with votes. Tyler got 3, Sebastian got 1, Wes got 2, Monty got 2, Bananas got 1, and Chris got 6. He said that if he comes back into this competition, if he wins tonight, he's coming back for revenge. We only had 3 girls get votes. Michaela 4, Cassidy 2, and then, of course, Amanda got 9 votes. Wes realizes that someone stabbed him in the back. Lewis will be taking on Chris. Desi will be taking on Amanda. 2 people with the most balls in the hopper actually got picked. Desi's happy. The game we're playing in the arena is Evil Eye. You and the opponent will start by holding the evil eye. It's like this little totem thing. At the same time, if you are in possession of the evil eye outside of the circle, then you win the game. So Chris is kind of talking mad shit while Lewis says he's a firefighter and ready to go. The battle ensues. These two go to battle, and it's a good one. You have Lewis the aggressor, and he has the leverage on the bottom, but then Chris is like choking Lewis out, like these two battling for their lives. And how, as we see it happen, Lewis was basically on the bottom all the time. Then Chris kind of came out. And then, however, towards the end, after kind of like really, really hurting each other, Chris is able to wrestle the totem away from him, escape, and win the battle. So, Chris stays with Lewis hitting the bricks. Now it's got Desi versus Amanda to start. And listen to me, like, if you watch these two, if you look at these two, this to me seemed like something that was going to be over in a matter of seconds. However, this was a back and forth battle that Amanda gave everything she had. She left it all out in that arena. Sadly, it wasn't enough as Desi is able to finally snag it and get out of the circle and win. So Amanda is packing her bags, and I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken. I'm sad. I was just starting to get acquainted to her and start to like her and start to want to see more of this character, and you just ripped her away from me. But that being said, Amanda and Lewis are sent packing. Of course, Desi and Chris are left with a choice. The choice is Chris can stay on the blue team, or he can defect to another team. But he stays on the blue team while Desi decides to take Alyssa S's spot on the blue team, sending her to the green team and joining the blue team. She said she wants to band with the people that are trying to get her out of this competition. What a strategic and brilliant move. You come out looking like a powerhouse in the arena, and you jump right onto the team that was trying to vote you out. Loved this week's episode of the show. Really, really enjoying my time. My first kind of foray into the world of the challenge. It has been something interesting and something fun to watch each and every week. As we all know, there is 2 episodes airing between now for the first 3 weeks, and then August 31st will be the first week where you get Thursday only episodes. So thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Love and Reality Podcast, tackling the world of the Challenge USA Season 2. I will talk to you guys next week.